This video is for my friend who is planning to travel for 7 days around the American Southwest. Normally for such type of travel I would recommend a typical Grand Circle route, which goes from Las Vegas to Grand Canyon to Page, Arizona to Bryce Canyon and to Zion National Parks. However, this time the route has to start in San Diego and Sedona is a must, so obviously something's gotta give. Let's get on with the planning. Day 1. This first day you will spend driving. Generally speaking, regardless of the destination, when traveling in the USA, you have to be prepared to spend significant time in the car. It helps a lot if there is a second driver. It takes 7 hours of driving from San Diego to Sedona. When you enter Sedona from the south, if there is still daylight left, you will see Bell Rock. You won't miss it. It's a giant 500 feet rock sitting right by the highway. There is a parking lot just north of the rock and it fills up pretty fast. Finding a place to park is an ordeal for any location in Sedona. I think some parkings in Sedona require either a Red Rock Pass or an annual National Park Pass. Either way, you can pay at the pay station once you find a spot to leave your car. Also keep in mind that this is not a definitive guide to Sedona. I just want to outline a general itinerary for the whole trip and you can fill the blanks on your own. Days 2, 3 and maybe 4. You can spend many days in Sedona. There are many trails and things to do. Some people go to art galleries and fly hot air balloons or take a pink jeep tour. Big part of the Sedona experience is visiting Vortex sites. Personally, I think it's a tourist attracting gimmick, but many people swear by it and say they do feel the energy for real. In any case, yeah. Vortex finding is a fun activity and can be combined with regular hiking. Just Google Sedona Vortex map and you will find all locations and directions to them. Incidentally, one of the vortexes is in the Bell Rock area, so when hiking Bell Rock, make sure that you check out the vortex. When we visited Sedona, we did 4 hikes in 3 days and a helicopter ride. We hiked Bell Rock, including the climb all the way to the top. I didn't climb. I didn't do the climb. Natalie joined the group of Peter Alan Gersten, who's regularly leading group hikes to Bell Rock for free. You can find him on Facebook and ask when he's doing the next group hike if you're interested. Same day as the Bell Rock hike, we did a helicopter ride. There are 2 companies that provide air tours around Sedona. The main difference is the aircraft size. We chose Guidance Air for their smaller helicopters. They took just the 2 of us and we had the whole aircraft to ourselves. With larger helicopters, it is unlikely that you can get this sort of private experience. They offer a variety of routes around the town and its surroundings. We took, I think, 20 or 25-minute ride, which is probably an overkill, especially if someone is not into helicopter rides. They also have 15 minutes shorter ride around the major attractions, Bell Rock, Cathedral Rock and Courthouse Butte. In retrospect, I think it's better to do the hike first and then take a look at the familiar places from the air later. On the second day, we hiked Cathedral Rock. That was the most impressive hike for me. It is rated as hard on all trails websites, so use your judgment. Also, Google videos of the hike before doing it, just to know what you're about to face. The view is very impressive. Once up there, you can take that classic photo that you might have seen on the Instagram or just explore the surrounding of the top area. On the third day, we went to another vortex right in the town by the airport. It is not much of a hike to the airport mesa. I would go there just for the view of the town. From there, you can see that unique Sedona landscape with rocks and mesas sticking out here and there throughout the town. Again, the parking is probably going to be an issue. So, the bottom line, absolutely loved hiking to Cathedral Rock and Bell Rock. 100% recommended. Helicopter ride allows you to get that real 3D feeling of Sedona. The rest of the trip was just average. Next time we probably should find more interesting hikes or take jeep tour to some remote areas. 3 full days is more than enough unless you plan to do some serious 10-mile hikes. There are hikes that we didn't go but maybe worthwhile to check out. Subway of Sedona. It's a 3-mile hike. Pictures looked very impressive. I really want to go there. Another hike is Devil Bridge. Just another 3-mile hike with 300 feet elevation. Just keep your expectations realistic. Any place or hike that you go in Sedona is going to be crowded. Even though in pictures you often see a lone person standing in solitude, there is probably a line of 60 other people waiting for their shot outside of the frame. Let's say you spend 3 days in Sedona. Then, on the last day of your Sedona experience, I suggest to hit the road. Do your last hike or a helicopter ride or whatever you plan for that day and head on towards the Grand Canyon. It's an easy 2-hour drive to the town of Tusayan, located outside of the Grand Canyon. If Tusayan is too expensive or all hotels are booked, then Williams is a good alternative. Day 5. It's the Grand Canyon day. You spend the whole day hopping from one viewpoint to another. When you enter the Grand Canyon from the south, the first viewpoint you're going to see is Mother Point. Mother spelled with an A. Huge parking lot, great views, but don't spend too much time there. It's super crowded. Just take a quick look and head to the Grand Canyon Village. From there you take a shuttle that goes through Hermit Road towards other viewpoints. There you make sure that you exit at every stop and let the views of the Grand Canyon soak in. It is much more enjoyable there. You can even do short hikes along the rim from one viewpoint to another and catch the shuttle on the next viewpoint. If you like the safety of guardrails, you can hang around viewpoints. If you prefer more freedom and less crowds, then just walk along the trail and enjoy unrestricted views from the cliffs. After Hermit's Rest, get the shuttle back to the canyon village, grab something to eat and drive east. Highway 64 goes along the rim. There are some more viewpoints, but they're sort of the same. Maybe it's worthwhile to stop at the Desert View Watchtower point if it's not too dark by the time. There you can say goodbye to the canyon and head to Page, Arizona. It's another 2-hour drive, so plan accordingly. Day 6. Page, Arizona. It's a strange place. One can spend just half a day there, see Antelope Canyon and Glen Canyon Dam and move on. We did this type of Page experience many times and it was great. On the other hand, last summer we spent about a week exploring Lake Powell on jet skis, camped overnight in White Pocket and still wanted to see more. And mind you, we didn't go to Antelope Canyon that time. The main attraction of the area is obviously, or arguably, Antelope Canyon. When planning a trip to this canyon, you have to keep in mind that there are actually 2 of them, upper and lower. They are both pretty and pretty crowded. They are also very distinct in the way you visit them. Lower Antelope Canyon is about 1,000 feet long, so it's like 3,000 meters. You walk about the same distance to the far end of the canyon, descend through the series of ladders, and then walk through the canyon, gradually ascending to the exit near the parking lot. It is about 300 meters each way, but you walk through the canyon only once and only from the bottom all the way to the top. If you pass some interesting view or formation, you will not see it again, and don't forget to always look back since some iconic views may be actually behind you. But don't worry about it too much. The Navajo guides know their business and they will tell you where to look. There are a couple of places where you would need to climb up the pretty steep stairs, or I would even call them ladders. Not an extreme, but check these photos and be prepared. The tour is 100% walking with no transportation involved. You drive to the location, park your car and walk from there. Upper Antelope Canyon is about 500 feet or 150 meters long, so it is about half of the length of the Lower Antelope Canyon. It is all leveled, no stairs or climbing of any kind. Main difference is that it's an out and back walk. You go through the canyon to the far end and then turn around and go back. There is a constant stream of people walking in both directions through the area that is just 3 to 5 feet wide at places. The second difference is that you have to take a 3-mile ride through a sandy, dry river bed in an open truck. In both canyons you feel like a cattle being rounded up, but I think the Upper Antelope is a little more so. All tours are guided, and guides are busy leading the tourist as fast as and as efficient as possible. Don't expect any moments of solitude and silent reflection. Many people come back disappointed, but their disappointment is mostly stems from unrealistic expectations. They see the pictures on Instagram and think that they can hang around the canyon on their own. There will be just their Navajo guide and maybe 2 or 3 other fellow travelers around. No, prepare for a cattle drive, you being the cattle. Once you get that silly solitude idea out of your head, you will be able to enjoy Antelope Canyon. Both canyons, Lower and Upper, offer to buy tickets right there on the spot, but there is maybe some waiting time, sometimes hours. You can also make reservations ahead of the time through various websites. Admission prices are astronomical. Historically, Lower Antelope Canyon has always been a bit cheaper than the upper one. What if you don't like crowds? I wonder who does, but still. Antelope is not the only slot canyon in the area. Just Google Antelope Canyon alternatives and you will see at least a dozen other slot canyons. We haven't been to any of them, so my Google is as good as yours. What else to do if you have only one day in Page? Definitely visit Horseshoe Bend. It's another iconic place. I've seen the pictures way back in the early 1980s when I was a kid. Many people think it's the Grand Canyon, but it is actually not. Anyhow, it is located about 1.5 miles south of Page. There is a large parking lot with signs and entry fee. You will not miss it. Pay the fee, leave your car and take a half-mile walk to the rim of the canyon. It's an easy, mostly downhill walk, so expect some elevation gain on the way back. They added guardrails in recent years, but you still can enjoy unrestricted views of the 1,000 feet drop if you walk to either side. Another quick and easy to visit attraction in Page is Glen Canyon Dam and Bridge. There is not much to say recommendation-wise about it. Park by the visitor center on the western side of the canyon and walk around. The bridge has pedestrian sidewalks on both sides. There is also a large parking lot behind the visitor center where you can see some of the Lake Pavel or what remains of it. If you still have time on the same day or on your way home, I would recommend stopping at the Navajo Bridges and Lee's Ferry. You will cross the Colorado River over Twin Bridge. One of them is a pedestrian bridge, so make sure to stop and walk back and forth. But by that time you will be sick of red rocks and canyons. However, at Lee's Ferry you can actually walk to Colorado River and see the rafters going into the canyon. There are some hikes in the area too. For instance, you can take a hike all the way to the top of the wall called Vermilion Cliffs, but you will probably want to leave it for the next time. By this time, it will probably already be the afternoon of your 6th day, and you will have 2 options, either to spend another night in Page or start heading back home. It's a 10-hour drive from Page to San Diego. It could be a good idea to split it into 2 manageable pieces. When we are going on such trip with someone who has never been to the United States or to Southwest, we usually return through Las Vegas. If you decide to take that route, then you can actually go through Navajo Bridge on your way from Page to Vegas. It's a 5-hour drive from Page to Vegas. You get there late evening, take a stroll through the strip and hit the bed in a comfortable hotel. Next day, you will have another 5-hour drive to San Diego. Okay, I hope you find this video helpful. We love exploring the American Southwest. We have visited some of these places several times and still want to go back for more. With this route, you're just scratching the surface.